the problem with trade. That is the next video we are going to start. Please take your pencil in your hand and sit carefully. During the 19th century, tribal groups found that traders and money lenders were coming to the forest more often, wanting to buy forest produce and offering cash loans and asking them to work for wages. We have seen that one, the role of the traders and money lenders in before part also. They are coming to the forest and they are purchasing things from forest products, and they are ready to give cash loans, and they are asking for a work for wage. And it took tribal groups some time to understand the consequence of what was happening. In starting, they never understood like that they are going to become this much in trouble like that, because the money lenders, they are giving money early, so they started to enjoy their life. They never understood this much terrible life they are going to face. Let us consider the case of the silk growers. The 18th century Indian silk was in the demand in the European market, and the fine quality of Indian silk was highly valued, and exports from India increased rapidly. Means the one of the example we are going to take about the silk workers, and the Indian silk was the with a fine quality, so it had the maximum importance in means the demand from European continent. As the market expanded, East India Company officials tried to encourage silk production to meet the growing demand. So the East India Company also helped the people to develop their silk production. Then Khasari Bag in present day Jharkhand was an area where the Sandals reared cocoons, and the traders dealing in the silk sent in their agents who gave loans to the tribal people and collected the cocoons. What they are doing, they are giving loan first, and they will collect cocoons. Instead of that loan, instead of money, they will collect cocoons, and the growers were paid rupees 3 to 4 rupees for 1,000 cocoons. If we are growing 1,000 cocoon, then we will get 3 to 4 rupees. These were then export to the Burdwan or Gaya, where they were sold at 5 times at the price. Means if they are purchasing by 3 rupees, and they will get means 3 5 15 rupees for that 1,000 cocoons. That much the money lenders and the traders, they was getting profit. Means only 3 rupees they will give to the farmer, and 12 rupees they will keep in their pocket. The middlemen, so called because they arranged deals between the exporters and the silk growers, made huge profit. The middlemen, now also we can see the middlemen only making profit, because the farmers, they are getting for example onion, it may get like that 5 rupees per kg in the villages, and it is coming to the market like 20 rupees there, and it is the middleman who is standing here, and he is giving by 18 rupees or 17 rupees to the shopkeeper, and he is selling that one by 20 rupees. Means he is getting 3 rupees, and this 5 minus 17 minus 5, that much money, means it is getting 12 rupees to the middle person who is standing. And now also same condition going on, and that was the condition in that time also, especially in between the silk growers. And understandably, many tribal groups saw the market and the traders as their main enemies. That's why what happened, they felt like that the markets and traders, they are the enemies of these people, those who are producing the silk, because they are not getting enough money. So that was the means because of these traders, we can see they are making many problems in between the tribals. So tribals started to face many problems, or they go through a struggle life or terrible life because of these traders. Then we can see one picture, it is given. Then 2 people, they are working coal mines of the Bihar in 1948. In 1920, about 50% of the mines in the Jharia and Raiganj coal mines of Bihar were tribals. That 50% of the workers was tribal people. Work deep down the dark and suffocating mines was not only only back breaking and dangerous. It was very dangerous. The mines, if you are going deeper and deeper, it was very dangerous. It was often literally killing, means the people was dying. And in 1920s, over 2000 workers died every year in the coal mines. That also all from means maximum people from tribal groups, they was dying. And why they came and worked in mines? Because in search of work. In search of work, the plight of the tribal who had to go far away from their home in search of work was even worse. The people, those who went away from their home in search of work, they become more worst. From the late 19th century, tea plantations started coming up, and the mining become an important industry. In 19th century, British people, they are starting plantation work as well as mines. So in both area they was getting work, but that conditions was very terrible. And tribals were recruited in a large number to work in the tea plantations of Assam and the coal mines of Jharkhand. They were recruited through contractors who paid them miserably low wage and prevent them from the returning home. The plantation workers, you will study that this detail in 10th standard. Means the once the trader means the contractors recruited some people and taking them to mine or plantation, they never got chance to come back to their own village or to their family members. Even there was no connection between them. So they participated in the non-cooperation movement because of this one. Because they thought, when Gandhiji said about Swaraj, they thought like that they will get freedom to come out of the plantations and they can go and visit their family members. Okay, then we are going to see a closer look to one village, that is which part we let us see, and that is the Sandals area. Through the 19th and 20th century, tribal groups in different parts of the country rebelled against the changes in the law and restrictions restrictions on their practice. Because the British people, what they done, they said like they changed the law as well as they restricted the practice of their cultural practice or their dances, like that things. The new tax the new tax they had to pay, means forest tax, like that many things they started to ask. The exploitation by the traders and the money lenders, then we have seen that the exploitation of the money lenders and the traders. The Cols rebelled in 1831 and 32. Sandals rose in revolt in 1855, and Bastar rebellion in central India broke in 1910, and the Worli revolt in Maharashtra in 1940. And the movement that Birsa led was one such movement. Means in different part of India they started to fight against British people. And we are going to see the Birsa Munda. We started in the lesson, introduction part of the lesson. We are going to see about his and his group. Birsa Munda was born in mid of 1870, and the son of a poor father. He grew up around the forest and of Bohonda and grazing sheep. That was their traditional work, and playing the flute and dancing in the local akara. That was his work. He was a shepherd, and he was a flute player, and even he was dancer in their traditional dance. And forced by poverty, his father had to move from place to place looking for work. In search of work, he went outside. It maybe went for mines or village work or farming land, like the different work. They went out of the village in search of work. As an adolescent, Birsa heard tales of the Munda uprising of the past, and so the Sirdars, leaders of the community, urging the people to revolt. When he became the adolescent, that time he understood like that the Mundas, they are having their own tradition, and they want to oppose the British people. They talk of a golden age when the Mundas had been free of the oppression of the Dickus. Means in the before British rule, they was very free, and they was enjoying the life of golden age. And said there would be a time when the ancestral right of the community would be restored. What they are saying, the leaders, they used to talk like that, we want to get it back, restore it, or we want to go back to our golden age, we want to be free. And they saw themselves as the descendants of the original settlers of the region, fighting for their land. Means Mukhi Larai, reminding people of the need to win back their kingdom. Means each and now, if we are getting like that trouble, what we will do, we will fight against. For that, we will make some of the images like that. These people also made like that. They are the descendants, they are the coming generations, new generations of the original settlers of this land. And Birsa went to the local missionary school and listened the sermon of missionaries. There too he heard it said that it was possible for Mundas to attain the kingdom of heaven and regain their lost rights. Means Birsa studied in a missionary school. It was Christian missionary school, and he heard about the attaining of kingdom of heaven and getting the right like that things. They said about the in that way, but Birsa understood that about in his own way. That is, Mundas can get attain the kingdom of heaven, and they can get their right it back. And it would be possible if they become good Christians and gave up their bad practices. What he understood, they want to become, Mundas want to become the good Christians, as well as they want to give up their bad habits, bad practices. Means if they are killing animals in the name of God, like that things, they want to stop. Later Birsa spent some time in the company of the prominent Vaishnav preacher. Means one of the Vaishnav preacher, he was giving the sermon, and he was following him for some days, and he wore the sacred thread and began to value the importance of the purity and piety. The Vaishnav, he was wearing a sacred thread, and that was become showing that purity and piety, means divinity of that person. Birsa was deeply influenced by many of the ideas, came to in touch with his growing up years. Means he got inspiration from them, and his movement was aimed at transforming tribal society. What he is doing first, he is trying to transform the tribal society. He urged the Mundas to give up drinking liquor, clean their village, and stop believing in the witchcraft and sorcery. Means they are having the first one, they are making liquors, village liquors, and they used to drink it, that they want to stop it, and they want to clean their village. Then next they want to stop the belief in the witchcraft, means believing in the Satan, that is they want to stop it. But we must remember that Birsa also turned against the missionaries and Hindu landlords. Slowly he also becoming against to Christian missionaries as well as Hindu landlords, because there was the British, means that is Christians. Hindu landlords means who is standing as a middle person. So he also become against to both group. He saw them as the outside force that were ruining the Mundas way of life, the person who is making trouble in the way of life of Mundas. Like that he understood about the Christian Christian missionaries as well as the Hindu landlords. In 1895 Birsa argued his followers to recover their glorious past. What he is saying like that, we had a glorious past, so we want to reach to that glorious past again, so we want to work for that. He talked of a golden age in the past as a Satyam, the age of truth, and when the Mundas lived a good life, constructed embankment, tapped natural springs, and planted trees and orchards, and practice cultivation to earn their livelihood. What all things they are doing for under the leadership of Birsa, they are saying like that, they are thinking about, they started to live a good life, and they start making the fencing and other things, and they started to tap the natural spring, means according to the season what all things they can collect, and like that things they are started to do. They did not kill their brethren and relatives. They never killed their own family members or their own relatives or in their clan members. They lived honestly, very honestly they was living. Birsa also wanted people to once again work on their land, settle down and cultivate their field. What was Birsa's aim? They want to work in their own land, they want to settle down there itself. What worried British officials most was political. Okay, continue. Okay, one more page is there that we will continue next day. Thank you. Have a nice day.